What's going on, guys? This is the Cloud9 podcast, season 1, episode 17. There was an interesting, maybe, I don't know. It's hard to really say, but I'm just joking with you guys. The LCS and the LEC 2021 summer splits weeks 7 and 6 concluded, and it was rather interesting because some of the gameplay was really suspect. Like, we'll go over the Cloud9 game against Immortals. We'll go over the G2 game versus Fnatic, the TSM game where they immediately clapped Team Liquid. The Speak of Trash Talk. You guys get it all here on the Cloud9 podcast. So yeah, what's up, man? How are you doing? How was your week? You know,
it's going good.
Going good? Okay, it's good.
It's good. Just starting this project and trying to get a job. So
yeah, like, okay, guys, what's really interesting about the League community is that generally when they want to harp on one thing, they'll harp on it to death without providing like any nuance or anything, right? They just have these bland surface level analysis takes that make like no fucking sense, but in their minds, if point A attracted to point B, then that's all that happened. Like, that's all they see, right? Which doesn't make any sense, right? But at least when it comes to like the LCS, we saw like CLG slide further down. We also saw FlyQuest. They ended up actually crazily upsetting TSM. Once again, they beat TSM, but FlyQuest actually lost their win streak, and they ended up getting crushed by the other team that has been crushing the LCS, which was Evil Geniuses. They are now on a fucking,
win streak.
What? They're on a win streak. Yeah. So how many games have they won in a row? That it's like 9?
I think 9. I think you're right. 9.
Dude, that's crazy, man. But then what ended up happening was their win streak was broken on the first day because they ended up losing to Golden Guardians, which is so weird. The LCS is in such a weird place now. Yeah, like
it's like kind of like LEC where like you there's that slight chance that like Astralis or Vitality or one of the bottom tier to mid tier teams can upset the top teams, and it's just you don't like. It's sort of good and it's sort of bad because the same thing's happening in EU. Because if anyone wants to bring up the argument, well, EU doesn't have these Fiesta NA games. Check out some of their games. Some of these teams are getting upset. Like, look at Mad Lions. I could go through that, but that's another story. But it's a topsy-turvy sort of weekend we had.
You also have games where like it looks like you think the team is going to close out because they have the better players, and then they don't.
TSM, holy shit, they threw so hard. I literally had to like step away from my computer. I was like, is this real life? Like, they had everything going, and then they literally did a Vitality. Like, they just threw the game. I was like, I don't know, man. I was just so upset. I had to literally step away from my, because I knew you would come with your nonsense the next day. But Cloud9 lost too, so I don't give a fuck.
Hey man, that was unarguably the best, most exciting game of the split. Maybe, potentially,
maybe,
because that, to be fair, they did lose against Immortals. They did, but that game was super interesting. Like, when they lost that game, bro, I was like this. I was like, really? I was like, what? Okay, that's just cursed. At that point, you're just cursed. Like, how did they lose when they had Baron and they had Elder? Like, they had one of the dragons, right? They were on like Soul Point, right? They had all the dragons or something like that. I was like, oh my fucking god, dude! Like, what's going on? And then like 100 Thieves, they played pretty well overall. Like, I think when we finally get to our all pro teams, I don't know, man. It's gonna be a clown fiesta there, because like there's some weeks where I think like Impact's the best top laner in the league, and then there's weeks where like Fudge is the best top laner, right? Then you have weeks where Huni's like the best top laner. I think like those three have like been the most standout top laners, been Huni, Impact, and Fudge. Is that fair to say, right?
Yeah, it's fair because Alfari had the bench in and he's kind of getting in his groove, so he might be a little funky and can't really Yeah, so that's a really. I mean, I guess you could put someday, but I mean.
Oh hell no, dude! He's been laning like ass. His laning is atrocious. Like, did you see the game he played up against? It was the game where he had the only death of the team. It was on Orin. He was playing like complete ass. I get it. He was getting dove a lot, but he's been like a liability toward like his team. And it's weird though. Maybe he's just having a slump year because like he's been in top form like pretty much his whole career. Maybe this is just one of his off years that he just almost never had actually. Because I've never seen him play this bad before. Like being his Gnar and walking up to a Renekton in melee range, he just literally walked up, got stunned, and then died. There was the Orin game where like it looked really suspect. There was the one Gwen game where he got like solo killed or some shit. I'm just going like, what the hell, man? But overall, like 100 Thieves looks really good, you know?
Yeah,
like,
they do.
FBI and Huhi, would you say they're the best bot lane in the league?
I mean, didn't they lose to Golden Guardians?
So, did they lose to Golden Guardians?
Holy I believe shit. I gotta check. I mean, well, I mean, I believe Tactical on that stupid.
No, they lost to Dignitas. Actually,
they lost to Dignitas. So it's like, you know, the thing is that's what I'm saying. This is such a topsy turvy league for both EU and NA that I don't know. It's like. It's like one day, like this. I mean, I guess you could say Fnatic, but we'll talk about that later. But like, 100 Thieves seems to be the most dominant, and for NA, like I think their record from what I'm seeing right here is they're 16-5 since summer, so that's pretty dominant. That's pretty dominant for a team with just a one minute change. I mean, I guess Abadage was what they needed. So
who are you considering for like MVP of the LCS 2021 Summer Split? Just the regular season, not playoffs.
The whole season?
The whole split so far.
Ooh, that's
Danny tough, though. There is some good picks. So, like Danny's probably gonna get rookie. Let's be honest, he's getting rookie, right?
I mean,
who was his competition?
I mean, Fudge is considered a rookie, right? Because he's on.
Who got rookie of the split? Last split, actually. No, I don't think no one got it though.
I don't think. Well, there's no championship, so I don't think they did one. That's why they just did all pro teams. Remember?
Oh yeah, you're right. Like for my MVPs, oh my god, dude, that's hard because like outside of Power of Evil's game, you know, last week where he was just like playing like a crackhead. He's looked really good. Like Abadage, outside of the, you know, some trolly Lee Sin performances, like with Power of Evil, they've looked like the best mid laners in the league. Like by far, those two are the best mid laners. It's not even close, really. Like I know people when we do our all pro teams, people can be like, "Well, are you putting Jensen or Perks as your third?" Jensen's probably the third. He's played better. Jensen has stepped up recently, like heavily, but. I don't know. LCS mid laners right now look really weak. To me, it's like Abadage, Power of Evil, no order at the moment. And then it's probably just like Jensen and then the rest. Like Perks is probably number 4, but that's only based off of just like everybody else being worse. And hey, I'll say this, man. A Blaze Olive, he's actually not been that bad. You know?
No, he's not bad for a very budget-oriented team. Pulling out the Tom Kench this weekend. I think they beat someone really good this weekend. I think they beat your team.
Golden Guardians? Let me check. No, Golden Guardians, they beat Evil Geniuses and they beat Dignitas and they ended up losing to Cloud9.
Oh yeah, they beat I was like gonna flame you, but I couldn't do that. So
well, remember there was the game of Blaze Olive. He picked Tom Kench mid, and that dude didn't know. I forgot what team he was facing. That guy didn't look like he knew what the fuck to do.
The deal with like what the heck what is this champion?
They acted like they were thrown in like another Earth or some shit. Like holy fuck. It was Yusui.
Yeah, you're right.
It was against Dig. Yusui played Akali and Blaze Olive picked Tom Kench and do look like he just saw his fucking dad for the first time in his life, dude. Like holy shit.
It was mesmerizing for him, but you know
so I want to ask you this too. I know you watch TSM Legends. I've watched TSM Legends for years at this point. You know, since I've been in league. What do you think about the whole dynamic they're creating in TSM Legends? Do you think it's like more positive vibes? Do you think it's just like the way these episodes are edited and shot? Because like Bjergsen looks pretty tilted from how their scrims generally go. You know, these last few episodes, the scrims have been looking pretty bad for him to be going like him laughing consistently. Like when you know Bjergsen to laugh like that after games, he's just going like maybe we fucking suck. Like I don't know, man. Do they look better in scrims than they do like on stage?
You got to remember that sometimes for scrims, no matter the region, some teams are like just getting dumpstered, but then when they come on stage, it's like it's a different story. So like you got to also take into account this is his first full year as a coach.
Yeah, and he gets that different perspective now, like players criticizing his drafts and the way he looks at the game. It just feels like they're a team that loses every single scrim by how the episodes are edited and shot, but they completely played so much differently on stage. It feels like they play more confident on stage than they do on the scrims because like I don't know. I'm not saying they're trolling because TSM, scrim culture, right? It's always been known to be like, very, very like what's that word? Hectic environment, super stressful. But it looks like for this TSM team, they're not really taking it stressful. It looks like they're having a blast.
Yeah, I think you got to remember that Bjergsen, he put a lot of the burden and pressure on himself, right? Like you could even when they lost the finals, remember with Sven, he was the one that kind of put them in the huddle when they went to that best of 5 and Team Liquid won. Like it's hard. Like if I was that dude, because I watched that TSM Legends. Yo, Broken Blade was like, told Ziggs, I don't want to talk to nobody. I would do the same thing. Like, I don't want to talk to it.
Dude, the hardest, I'll say right now, the hardest TSM Legend episodes to watch was when CLG beat them at Madison Square Garden in 2015 when they lost all their games the same day to LGD, KT Roaster, and Origin. Then it was when they got knocked out of Worlds in that Samsung Galaxy time, and the time you're talking about is like the worst. Those are like my top 4. Like, just depressing. Oh my god, dude! Like I feel so bad for Sven. Oh my god, and I always respect TSM for putting out these episodes, and like we need this kind of content for the league. I always loved the TSM Legends format. Cloud9, they still have on Cloud9, but they haven't put out episodes in like 3 weeks or so, probably because the team's atmosphere is bad and they've been losing a lot. Team Liquid still has squad, which I think is still pretty good, but it's like people got to give TSM more credit. Like at least they're showing what their team goes through on a weekly basis, even though it might be edited. I mean, obviously they can't show you everything, but at least it's something. Yes. At least it's something, and I can respect that though. At least they're not scared of what the community may think, give or take what the TSM Legend episodes might be, At least they're not back in the day where Reginald literally came into one of them and started yelling at them for losing. I'm like, you can't have this. That's a little too much. You can't show that. Like, oh my god. I don't know how you feel about those that kind of content. Do you think that kind of content is so needed for the league? Because I feel like we still need it though.
The content is needed because it humanizes the players, and you get to see the emotions and how hard they're working. So for me, it's good content. And that's how you build up a fan base. That's how you get a narrative, that's how you keep your brand, relevant. Like when you have this stuff accessible, when you see the good and the bad, because nobody is perfect. Yeah, it's edited. I'm sure a lot of it's edited for reasons we don't know, but the fact that we get that access that might not be privy to other orgs is nice. So
it's one of these things where like people always clamor for content like that, but then when certain things come out of content like that, then they blame the content. It's like, do you want to be traditional sports or not? Like, what are we doing here? Like, do you want to be traditional sports? Because in traditional sports, they have benchings left and right. I don't think so many people would last in traditional sports a week of having their players benched. Because like in traditional sports, your players are getting benched. There's no playing around. There's no like, I don't agree with what the coach says and all sort of bullshit. Nope, you're benched. You might play you may play a game this season. Who knows? Depends on how I feel. Like, I don't know. Is that the right thing? Potentially. Because, like, in traditional sports, the coaching hierarchy matters, though. And maybe that's just different based in what, like, league is built in. Because, like, with league, you don't have a coach going through the game ranking up. You know, traditional sports, you have a coach who shows you the game and proper form and all that other stuff, right? With league, it's hard for grown men or boys becoming men to kind of get coached by people that are, you know, worse at the game than them, and then you have to listen to someone you don't even know. Like, I get it, but it's like if you're in a team, coaches should have the most say for most given cases because they're charged with leading the team. Especially a head coach. I don't even think a head coach, honestly, for me, should be teaching players how to play the game. You should be leading the discussion, you know, challenging where the discussion may go, like asking players like, hey, what should we have done in this scenario given the norm, you know? That's just me personally. I don't know how you feel about that stuff.
No, that's I mean, that's perfectly. I totally agree with you. I can't disagree with you on that.
Like, yeah, we're gonna talk about that actually, because I'll bring up Twitter. Now I know Warren is gonna love this one because he thinks this player is a quote unquote I can't say the word because you know his state went through that actually. It was something with pole belter actually. So I know what happened. Yeah. We'll say criminal actually. Yeah. So what did you feel about pole belter's tweet actually?
I did not even know about the tweet. I'm gonna be honest. So yeah, you can. It'd be news to me, and I love to see this tweet because Demonte switched with him, right?
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So basically, guys, the news for the LCS this week is, Demonte ended up replacing Pole Belter on CLG, and newsflash, everybody, CLG still suck. So nothing's changed. They still suck. You know, I told people this before. Demonte wasn't good this year on 100 Thieves. Him swapping out for Pole Belter basically means nothing. I like Demonte. I've met him before. Nice guy. Genuinely nice guy. But it's not going to matter, though. This is no upgrade. This is a side grade at most, and he also wasn't playing good this year either. There's a reason why he's not on 100 Thieves right now. He himself wasn't playing that good. So they swapped out an underperforming mid laner with another underperforming mid laner. Good job, CLG. Like, Warren, save me. I'm going to jump out a window. Holy shit, dude.
I'm not saving you. I told you they need to. The only thing I think is feasible is to. Listen, I wouldn't be upset if CLG just sent every one of them to accept Demonte because they just came and switch out and do what FlyQuest did. Maybe they need something like what Cloud9 did a few years ago to get the motivation in these players because they literally are collecting paychecks. This is illegal. They shouldn't be doing this.
Like from the information I gathered, apparently CLG.
Because Broxa's tweet, he seems like it's mentally really affecting him, these losses. So
like for all the information that I've gathered, apparently they spent a lot of money on their roster, right?
Yeah.
You spent a lot of money on this roster. Dude, I have people in my mentions on Twitter going like, you know, they're not as bad of players as you're saying. Okay, and I asked him, where did you rank CLG coming into this play? Oh, I ranked them like 8th, 7th. Okay, you clearly don't think they're good if you're ranking them 8th, you fucking moron. What planet do I live on where if you genuinely think a team is good, like I did, I'd put my money where my mouth was in spring where I thought EG was going to get third, and I was a split early about my prediction, but whatever, right? Then you should potentially power rank them higher than what you normally probably thought. I mean,
technically, right? If this, like, you're not wrong, honestly, because if you think about it, they would be tied with TSM for third but you know,
I'm just like a month early. I was a month too early on the prediction though. I felt like they were going to be a good team. I felt like I knew where the pieces were going to land. I just really couldn't predict for Jizuke. That was pretty much all it was. But even in terms of like, if people genuinely think these players are good, right? If you genuinely think that, why are they losing all these games then? People say they're veteran pro players. That means nothing because it clearly shows that these guys weren't the leaders of their teams. This shows you just because you're a pro player doesn't mean you know how to play the game to a certain extent over other teams with much better players who probably have had the leadership role in their team. And you also have like these players where, let's be honest here, dude, Finn, Broxa, Pro Belter, Smoothie, Wild Turtle. Outside of Smoothie, the other 4 players on this team, did you ever see these guys as leaders, like actively, like forwarding the pace of the game? Dude, I haven't seen that out of Poboter since Immortals.
No, I can't. I'm not even being disrespectful. I don't think I saw any of them as.
Do you think Broxel was a leader in Fnatic when they went to World Finals? No,
not
he was getting carried by Caps. Let's be honest here. Broxel was getting carried by Caps, guys. I know you guys don't want to say it. Broxel's a nice guy. Broxel probably is a nice guy. Okay. Broxel played well at Worlds 2018. I'm not saying he didn't, but he was getting carried by Caps. Okay? That's no doubt, right? Killisang played really well that Worlds 2. And you're also seeing like these players, literally on CLG, have no leadership experience because you shouldn't be losing this many games. This is ridiculous. Like, what's crazy is people think these guys are good players. That's what's crazy is some of you people out there think these guys are good players, and these dudes are like at 9th place. Real great players you got there. My brain, I can't handle this. All right, Poboter's tweet. I know Warren's gonna love this. That was painful to watch. I know for sure the players on CLG are way better than that. I think the team environment became way too negative and doom, super, super high pressure, and I don't think anyone can succeed or play with confidence under those circumstances. He had a follow-up tweet. The morning before the last match I played for CLG, I broke down crying in front of my coach because I just felt increasingly sheer misery over the past few weeks. It just felt like nothing at all was going right. I never felt that way in 7+ years as an LCS pro.
Wow, boo-hoo, bitch.
Warren, please. You believe in karma. I don't, but you may. I don't know.
No, boo-hoo. You know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to get through the adversity and show why you still think you can compete. And like, no, I'm sorry. There's sports psychologists. There's plenty of resources. These people they're making more than nurses and all these people. I don't want to get into that.
Yeah, like guys, don't let these pro players fool you. These orgs are rich. Though they might not be making money off the LCS, they make money through other means. People told me Cloud9's poor. Cloud9's sponsored by Microsoft. Last I heard, Microsoft is the most richest company in the world. So I don't know where you guys get this poor narrative from. Most of these guys aren't poor. CLG is backed by Madison Square Garden. Sure. Real poor, right?
Yeah, so I get where he's coming from because he wants, but like I know I did the boohoo thing, and that's just me being Warren.
No, you just guys. If you guys, Warren just loves being that guy. He told me I love being that guy, man.
I'm not that guy. I'm sorry. No, I mean I feel bad for the dude. I just this like okay, but my thing is like. Look at SK. Like, I understand he's breaking down Cry, right? Look at SK. They just recently won another game. They look like their spirits are up and everything.
Yeah.
How is, and I'm just using this comparative because their record is pretty bad too. But they still believe that they have hope and they're still playing like they think they can win. So if I see an EU team, okay, let's not even say EU. If I see a team still looking to play like they want to compete, and like can go past the adversity, why can't you as a veteran get through that? Like
the team with iBoy in the LPL, that team's usually trash. Like Vici Gaming, I know they renamed. They're called TT. They're usually always rare shit.
They're doing really good right now.
They're doing good now. You know, the org finally, after years of doing dog shit in the LPL, finally turned it around. If orgs in leagues for years have done dog shit, you don't see them breaking down on Twitter going, oh, boo-hoo, it's over, guys. Like, come on, man, you gotta fight. I really, like, I've probably met Poboter before when I went to the LCS. He seems like a pretty nervous CLG cool guy, right? Come on, man, you're better than that. You don't gotta be breaking down shit like that, dude. You gotta, how would I say this? Because I'm trying to, like, bring in words of positivity here. You gotta just keep fighting, man. Like, remember when Cloud9 were in 10th place in the LCS and then made it to the finals? The fucking finals? You didn't see Cloud9 in 2018 just start giving up. Let's just give up, dude. Let's just go home. Let's just take our keyboards out. No, dude, you got to keep fighting. You want to be the LCS champion again? You got to keep playing, dude. You got to keep moving forward, you know?
Like, look at Schalke's miracle run. Like, Odawamne, right? Cry. and he's like, and Oldawamne cried, but those are like tears of like
Thank you.
relief and joy.
Oldawamne this year, I've been watching League since 2014. I've been watching Oldawamne since about when he joined HUK back in 2015. When I was watching EU, I've never seen Oldawamne in a final until this year. This year, I've seen Oldawamne in a final.
He cried. But
he kept fighting. He never gave up.
Yeah, and he cried because it's tears of joy. Like, you know what? I finally made it. I would cry too. That like, and even the Schalke when his spirits were down and he had that interview with Shocks, he cried. But I was like, oh, okay. You know what? It's bad, but we're gonna try to win and keep doing it. And it's like, I get it. You're breaking down, and it sucks, dude. But you gotta like fight through it.
You gotta pick yourself up, man. Like, dude, Oldawamne had to go through Forgiven, dog shit H2K lineups, like Splice lineups where they barely knew what a fucking mid game was, and they were like getting trounced on. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to see people go through this, man. I truly do. I really hate to see a person have to go through a breakdown where it's just so stressful for them and they just can't take it. I know it sucks, man. But if you want to be a champion again, man, you gotta fight through it, man. You just got to do it. I don't know if Pobolter is retiring after this. He hasn't said anything from what I know, to my knowledge about the situation. But you have to kind of factor in, like, you would at one point think CLG would have swapped out Pobolter anyway, because remember earlier this year about the whole fucking they had disagreements with the coaching staff. You know?
Oh, yeah, he was benched before.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm being honest here. I hope you get better, man. I hope your mind gets better. I hope you feel better. You know, I truly hope you honestly feel better. Just, you know, man, don't break down. I'll actually start breaking down too. Just think about it this way. I'll say this. Before you take another LCS offer, how about look at the team you're going to get, right? Because let's be honest here. I want to be honest before I get to the other mentions in his Twitter fucking thread and shit. Okay, so someone said they have Wild Turtle. Cool. Someone said Wild Turtle was at Worlds last year. All right, brother. Who was on that FlyQuest roster that carried Wild Turtle to fucking Worlds last year? PoE and Ignar. Okay. Someone said, what about Finn? Finn was on Rogue. He didn't do anything but play Malphite. He literally was at Worlds playing Malphite or ulting people. He was Wild Turtle and Finn literally got carried by their teams last year. Don't even try that. Like, Finn was good for a period point in time. He has been pretty okay on CLG. Broxah was on TL. Broxah was invisible all last year. Are we even going to pretend? Come on. He was terrible last year, right? Smoothie, God knows when he was actually last good, 2018. Last time he was actually good. You know, it's been years, right? I would say, man, if you're going to sign with the team, try not to sign with players that have been already washed up, who've already shown previously bad years, consistently bad years. Wild Turtle got benched by MASH last year. If we're going to remember this, MASH, of all people, Wild Turtle got benched for him, right? I don't know, man. Like, I hope the environments in LCS teams potentially change, but like, I just don't know. Unless you have any words, because I'm just lost for words right now. I honestly don't know. You know?
No, that's I hope the best, and I hope he can figure himself out and do what is necessary for him to get back to at least competing normally.
This guy, he actually said, I'm sorry, it's like that, but pro athletes feel this pressure every game. True. In every sport you played bad, you get benched or you lose your job. Pro esport players need to learn to have better mental if they are going to get paid the money they do. It's not wrong.
He's not wrong. He's just being real honest. And honest.
This person, oh my God. This guy says, I don't think they're comparable.
What are you talking about? It is comparable because if teams aren't there's a reason why
these dog shit arguments. Sports players are generally older. What does that even matter?
That doesn't matter.
Sports coaches are also older and more professional. Oh my God.
Doesn't matter.
All right. So a bunch of conjecture that means nothing. All right, this person's stupid. That's literally nothing but a bunch of conjecture.
If they don't perform well, you think if TSM didn't had the brand that they did, they would get the sponsors? Sponsors pull out if teams aren't performing well, because why would you want to be associated with a brand that's not winning? I'm sorry.
There's a reason why you never see Golden Guardians get like big sponsors though. They get like local sponsors because like I mean, what do they have to lose, right? They're getting more exposure being on Golden Guardians jersey than the other way around, right? Like COG, from noticing from their jersey, they have some pretty good people like Spectrum, though the internet kind of sucks sometimes. That's pretty big, right? There's Spectrum. They have Game Fuel. They had a lot of interestingly big sponsors though, so you have to know there's pressure to perform, obviously for sponsors, them keeping their spot in the LCS. Like, let's just be honest here, man. Are these players really going to be in the LCS next year? Come on, let's be honest here. Outside of Demonte and maybe Broxa next year for CLG, I think Smoothie's going to retire. I think he won't find a spot and just be relegated to Academy. Wild Turtle always seems to find teams. Maybe he'll just be on even more bottom feeder teams. FlyQuest right now is kind of doing okay. He was actually on FlyQuest before. Golden Guardians or Mortals, maybe. I don't know. Like for CLG's thing, I just don't know. It's just too much. Maybe it was just like atmosphere, coaching staff. Maybe it's coaching staff that does it to them. I'm not too sure. I just hope thoroughly it improves. Anything else you want to say before we go to the next thing, actually?
No, I think you covered it really well, to be quiet. There's not like, all I can say is try to get past it and hope to see you back once you're mentally stable.
He's not getting but you also want to say he's not getting another team. Because, like, to be fair, guys, why would you pick a Pro-Boxer?
I'm not... Like, this is going to sound really weird, but I'm sure if Bjergsen was available, a team would still pick him up.
That's true. But Bjergsen was also good.
And Bjergsen was good, and Bjergsen was very committed, and everybody talks about his work ethic. It's just, I don't want to dog on a player, but Pole Belter just, even when, there's a reason why Pole Belter got replaced with Jensen. There's a reason why Pole Belter got replaced.
He makes worse teams better and better teams worse, right?
I mean, he's what Stephen A. I think Stephen A. put it this way: like the Knicks hired. I'm going to use the sports example. The Knicks hired Tom Thibodeau. Like he was a good coach. He took the Bulls to the semifinals in 2011 or 2012 to the semifinals of the Eastern Conference Finals, right? But he's not the coach. Well, actually, the better example is the Golden State Warriors. Like Mark Jackson was a good coach for the Golden State Warriors, but they needed Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr got them championships. Like, you can have someone that gets you where you want to go, but then you need that next person to take you over the hump. And he got them to there, but they're like, you know what? We need Jensen. And then he did that with FlyQuest, and then they're like, you know what? We take PoE. He's like a cog for the minute until they can find someone that's a better upgrade. Mm-hmm. He's serviceable, and he's good at what he does, but he's not outstanding.
You can even see it from the gameplay. Like players like Demonte and Pobelter just aren't mechanically better than players like Perks, Jensen, Abadage, Power Reveal. That's nothing against them, guys. It's just looking at pure gameplay of how they move around the map, about how they move their champions, about how they actually use their mechanics on said champions. You can just literally tell Jensen is better. You can literally use your eyes and so that Power Reveal is better.
I'm not sure about. I might disagree slightly on the mechanics. It's more like champion pool and versatility with the meta, because that's what the Monte got criticized. That's what Pole Belter gets criticized too, is that he plays more the supporter role. You're not hearing about Pole Belter popping off on like an Aurelia or a Kali or like something else that's in the mid lane that hard carries, like even Tristana mid. You know what I mean? So best of luck to the dude. Hope things change, and yeah, there's not much else to say, to be quite honest.
But the thing we gotta talk about is Evil Geniuses. They are on a tear. They have been the best team in the LCS 2021 Summer Split for the last, I don't know, give or take 3 weeks at this point now.
Say it one more time. Sorry, someone just came to bother me.
No, you're fine, dude. No, it's Evil Geniuses and 100 Thieves are the best team. Evil Geniuses have continued their. I don't know, man. EG just continues to dominate every single game. Now, is that because the LCS is just dog shit? Kinda. But EG are playing good. They're playing good, actually, to a certain extent.
I don't want to leave you hanging, but this is one of those things where I need to see these teams in best of fives. That's my problem.
I guess we'll just have to judge it off the best of ones they played so far to really gauge something, because like we don't have best of fives yet. Well, in a couple more weeks we'll have them. But what do you think about Evil Geniuses and 100 Thieves? Is it literally just because the league is so weak right now, so volatile, that they're doing well? Because I don't know, man. Most of their wins have been pretty impressive. For the last like 3 weeks, give or take, right? 100 Thieves wins have been pretty impressive, give or take, right? It's not like they're playing bad and then they're getting lucky against worse teams. They're literally just dominating teams, though.
Here's what I say. I think Danny has the makings of being probably a top 3 ADC if he keeps continuing the way he does. I think, heck, if you gave him a better support, like Ignar is, I think Ignar is good with what he does, but like, I think you and me could agree, like, if they find like a support that's just a bit better than Ignar, like Ignar's not bad, but we know Ignar has his limitations. Like, could you imagine Danny with a Vulcan, or like? I really don't think he's that good, man. I think it's more FBI than he, but it's I don't want to say it's semantics, but I really think it's more. I think if he had, like, I don't know, Johnson, I don't think he's as good. Would you agree
as his ADC?
Yeah, would you agree with me on that? Like,
here's what I'll say about I think he's good, and he stands out on certain supports more than others. Like, he'll play 3 champions to like the max really well, right? Like Set, Thresh, and what was the other one he played really well? I forgot. Oh my god.
Tom Kench?
Yeah, like champions like that, right? But I think it just depends on a lot of different factors. I think they're really good as a bot lane. Is he individually better than Core JJ or Ignar? I think it just depends on which champions they're on, though. Because we've seen Core JJ on like certain support champions, like this past week, and he looking kind of rough out there, dude. I was like, what's going on?
I think it's the coach. I don't think that cold guy. I think he's better at his other position, not as a coach. Like, that's my honest opinion.
Like this week, he did outclass Core JJ. Like, he actually just wrecked him completely. But to be fair,
they're still playing GP in the top lane. And last I checked, and I don't mean to be very rude, but like, look across most regions, GP's not being played a lot. It's either Mundo.
GP hasn't gotten played for a while. That was a surprise to me.
Let me tell you the top lane picks. It's Mundo, Set, Gwen, Viego, maybe Lee, and Nocturne, Akali. Akali, I think we'll see less play because of the nerfs, but and Jace. I think I can name. I saw a Nara pick, but that's here and there. But you would agree on those 9 that I mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're not seeing shit. The name just. What was the champion? It just blew my. I just forgot that we're talking about.
Oh, Renekton. Did you say Renekton actually?
No, it wasn't Renekton. Who are we talking about that's playing in the top lane with the champion?
Oh, Gangplank, right?
Yeah, GP. So
you said it was Alfari, right?
Yeah, Alfari. Like, Alfari's a good GP, but like, why not put Alfari on Nocturne, Lee, like Huni? You don't think Alfari is mechanically good? You don't think he could make good plays on Lee and on, like, what? Like, put him on Akali. Put this man on Gwen. Put him on Viego.
That's the problem, dude. Is like, he was on these champions for the past like couple of weeks, and he's been not playing that good. Now, that might have to do with the fact that obviously, that you had the TL situation of the benching, right? Because it looked like he's not really synced up with his team when it comes to plays. When it comes to like a lot of what they're doing, though, he got outclassed by Licorice. He got outclassed, not by Someday. He was generally just playing on a lower level than he normally was on, which is weird. Because like, was he not playing as much solo queue? Because we know he wasn't an academy, obviously. So. Right. I don't know. Is it something we're going to have to see, like, him scaling up through the weeks? Because this was one of the match of the weeks, guys. You had Team Liquid taking on 100 Thieves. What's really crazy about this week is we actually had 2 match of the weeks, actually. And you see these games and you go, okay, this should be pretty good. should be pretty good. Oh, read the reference on should. I like this core JJ engage right there. And people have been like, talking about tactical and shit like that. I think tactical has been playing pretty poor. Like FBI, who he really played well in that 2v2 right there. They did amazing. Like when who he's on his specific champions, he does really well on Thresh, Set, fucking Alistar. I've seen him do well on. But what did you think about this game actually?
With TL.
Yeah, and versus 100 Thieves.
I think they played okay. I think it's just they just need me personally, I just think they just need they need a better coach. Like I just don't think that he's the type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Cole's the guy for them. Like they have a good Renekton's not. Renekton is, believe it or not, is being played a lot still when they can in LPL. Like Renekton is a Chinese like a staple. Like
this fight. This fight actually was really good. FBI played this really well. You have the last shot he took against Tactical when Tactical tried to get aggressive. And then you have Jensen, Jensen kind of going a little bit too deep. Like right here, I believe they should just back off. Like right here is when they lose the game. Like you have no reason to be playing further past this point. Let's replay this fight actually.
Well, here's my problem with their draft.
Yeah, let's go to the draft first. Okay, so TL drafts Renekton, Diana, Lucian, Lovers bot lane, 100 Thieves draft Orin, Lee Sin, LeBlanc, Varus, and Thresh.
Here's my problem with this draft. Who's their engage? A Renekton Flash?
For who? Team Liquid? You have Diana ult, right?
Which means she has to get in and she's squishy. Okay.
Rakan, right?
He's kind of squishy. He has to get a good flank.
You have the Xayah combo with the QE combo. That's not bad, right?
Not bad. But compare. Look at them. They got Ornn, Lee, flank from LeBlanc.
Varus literally neutralizes Rakan. His ultimate.
Varus's ult, Thresh hook, and death sentence. Like there's more engage options on the side of 100T than I compare. And the thing is that you drafted 2 marksmen. Like there's a problem right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Lucian is short range. Varus is gonna outpoke you guys. Like if they play it right. Yeah, they got like right here. You're right.
Why did Armao going on? Look at this. Look at what Armao does. I want people to literally look at what he does. He tries to solo the LeBlanc in the middle of Huhi and Abadagi right there next to him. Look at this level of gameplay you're getting out of this jungle. Look at what Armao does. Flashes, tries to kill Abadagi, gets immediately exhausted and gets basically one shot. He's out. Now, Tactical did play this fight. Here, you leave. Just leave. You don't even do anything else. Why are you there?
But Paul, go back a little bit. Bit. Look what the Varus Q did to them.
He literally chunked the shit out of them.
The Varus Q just literally killed
almost 3 people.
Look, it literally killed. Look, it kills Tactical in one hit and Jensen. It's like and how are you gonna get on to Varus if you have those things in front of them?
I mean, it'd be pretty hard to get on Varus when your Diana literally goes ape shit onto a fucking LeBlanc.
And then the Ornn is giving 1,000 gold upgrades to these champions. So it's like I just don't see how they win. Like I just don't see it, and it's. I might be chat. I might be silver, but I just with picks like Aurelia out. Like, why not put Aurelia in the mid lane? She scales. She shreds tanks with the Divine Thunderer build. If any fool goes Gore Drinker, look at Divine Thunder is literally a tank shredder. Like Aurelia would have been. I'm okay because guess what Aurelia gives you? Aurelia gives you an engage that you could catch them all, and it would force flashes out, and she just scales well, and she can get into the backline with her Q resets if she's killing people. Like why are they not playing these champions? Like Aurelia would have done fine in LeBlanc, and it's also it sets up are male. Like it's I sometimes I wonder if they're too afraid to play it on stage. Was discomfort? Were they trying out something new? This is again something we don't know, so I'm not gonna be
You
too
also have.
critical.
What did you think about this play right here, where Core JJ try to make like the hero play? Like in this moment, you have to do this, or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you basically just
yeah,
grief the
yeah.
game.
They had to make a play. The problem is they're all short range, and look who's in front of them, the Ornn.
That's
Look,
it.
play like if you play go back and play that really slow, like at a slower speed.
Let me
Uh,
do it right for you. Give me 1 sec. Let me
like
hit
even right before.
pause. Right about there.
Yeah,
Okay.
put it at like 1.5 or something. Just something a little slower, so
One
that
point.
people. Oh, 0.5 is fine.
There we
So
go.
okay, so start it off. Now look where Renekton is. Renekton's in the back line, but look where all the damage is. Look where Jensen is. The Ornn. The Ornn's there, and they've dumped
And look
everything
how
in them.
and look at where Alfari is.
Yeah,
He can't even
do you see
defend.
do you see FBI's Q? It chunked out Renekton. So what? Like it's just positioning and literally like anyone will tell you, I'll take this trade. My tank going down and all my carries are still up and you don't have yours. That's a fine trade. He did his job. Like it might not show in the stat line, but he did his job, and that's the thing. I think it's a draft issue, and hopefully they can fix it.
Hopefully
Personally,
they can, because Team Liquid, there are weeks where they look fine, and then there's other weeks where they look completely lost. Like there's no consistency.
oh,
There's weeks where they'll play an aggressive draft to the perfect amount you can probably assume. Because like there was the um game last week. I think they played against Dignitas, right? Where like Team Liquid were pushing the pace of the game. They had a really good draft and they beat Dignitas, right? Also, fucking Yasui's brain turned off when he went on. He flashed in and casted it and Rift Walk and died. I'm like, holy fucking shit, you know. Also, yeah, no, Yun, I saw that too. Like, you guys missed something on the Rift Herald fight. Look how quick who he exhausted our mount. It's true. Like, without that exhaust, Abadage is dead and TL wins that fight. Yeah, it's true. Like, who he played it really well. I'm not saying he did it. It's just one of these things where, like, I don't even get why he would want to go onto LeBlanc right there. I mean, you're probably thinking, like, okay, I'll go onto a block, I'll potentially kill her, right? I don't know about that. He did that into a Thresh, right? He flashed in and did this. This is not like fucking something, that he was like, okay, like there's nothing here and did this. Like he flashed in and tried to kill her. Now you had the other match of the week. You had TSM versus Team Liquid. Obviously there was some spicy trash talk after this game. Team Liquid drafted Gangplank, Trundle, Twisted Fate, Varus, and Tom Kench. This is dog shit draft. You deserve to lose this game. Team Liquid drafted, god damn, TSM drafted Jace, Diana, Azir, Aphelios, Leona. Yep, I can see why TSM won. This is just draft diff. This is literally draft diff. What were they thinking?
Like the thing is, I was watching my friend's Diamond games, and in his game, they kept punishing and pushing the lane. Like they didn't keep the harassment on the Jace, and they didn't like go through the side lane, and they needed like the analyst brought this up. Jensen didn't make a lot of plays on TF like you should. Like he wasn't playing TF like you're supposed to collapse. Get like TF basically
Ult around the
says
map, roam with your jungler.
yeah, like ult around the map. Like I felt like he was off on his TF. Like this is because Jensen can play a better TF. I believe he can. So again, they're playing GP when there's so many other big power picks right now. Like I get it, GP. GP gives you a gold, but it's like to set up the barrels, whereas an Akali can go into the back line, or like what's his face, like a Nocturne can go backline Lee. Like I just don't like the like. I get it. Alfari is a good GP player. No offense to the guy. I'm not knocking it, but like I just think they're playing like as this is the 2018 world, or like 2018 meta, like where GP was pick or ban, like as a blind pick. Um, uh,
Sorry, Hunyan, you're correct. Like,
Yeah,
this is fuck,
They
dude.
they weren't pro. Well, Tom Kench's W is different, remember? So it's
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but the TF and the GPLs weren't. You know, you're spot on. So and then the thing is, like, I hope that, like, stop, pause it right. Go up further in the time, like before the game ends. Like, I want to see where the items are. So stop it right there. Just before Baron. Like, like, okay, that's good. That's good. So hopefully the items come up, like, just to where I can see the items again.
Yeah.
But it does right, yeah, right here. Like, pause it right there. So now pause it right here. So they just
Mm-hmm.
took Baron. If this game goes on any longer, you have Aphelios that's gonna shred. Who's gonna get onto the Aphelios? Who? Like I don't see anybody getting on to Aphelios unless they have a good GPL or a flank from TF. Tom Kench is not really tanky enough to go and dive into the backline. Um, Azir is gonna basically put up soldiers and poke away. Jace is gonna poke away. They haven't engaged from Leona. Like, it. I don't see how they do anything. Yeah, so I think it was a big draft. If I the
This
Varus,
draft is a sin against life itself.
yeah, I just don't see
They
where.
auto drafted literally losing lanes. Every lane loses. Not just Varus. Varus is okay into Aphelios, kinda, but when you pair up Aphelios with Leona, you're not getting to him. And obviously you can't get to Varus with Tom Kench. So this is a neutral bot lane right here. But then TL drafts like two losing solo laners, and Diana versus Trundle. I need to see how this match plays out more, honestly, but I'm pretty sure Diana scales better, right? Even though you can steal
I
stats.
mean,
Like, wait, if you're picking Trundle, you pick Trundle to steal stats, right? Who are you stealing the stats of? That's really gonna
Leona,
matter.
I guess, but even then, that's
That's
not
why
very.
this draft sucks. So
I mean,
draft against a sin against life, dude. This is the draft they play in fucking Brazil or some shit. Holy fuck.
man, as long as TSM, I will say one thing what TSM did. They basically they only got 3 deaths. They got every objective, most of the objectives, except for the Herald. Oh, sorry, long. Oh, sorry about that.
Well, I know
Uh,
you're blown by Reginald right now to suck off TSM.
no, they got objectives and they forced fights around, which they were being very proactive. And this is what I'm talking about, because I mean, I want you to pull up the game with TSM versus
Which one?
FlyQuest. That this is why LCS.
That's a game you want to go over? Okay.
This is why this is my point about LCS, because I'm gonna do the same thing for LEC. This is why LCS is a up topsy turvy. Anything can happen. Because they're playing pretty immaculate, and then they just do some dumpster fire, rave, Molly, Percocet thing.
Do you know what it feels like? It feels like someone on any team in the LCS right now just feels like they have to do something. Like the game is so out of their hand if you don't do anything. It's like, no, there's windows where you make decisions, and there's windows where you just don't do much because there's not the chance to do it. You know what I mean? Oh, shout out to my boy Triple. He's doing great in the LCS. He'll be on soon, actually. He said when things become less hectic, he'll be on. So can't wait to talk to him about his experience being in the LCS, actually. But it's kind of crazy. Like, when imagine first going into the LCS and your mid laners are facing your Perks, Power Vivo, and Jizuke. Like, that's just crazy in of itself. But what did you want to say about the FlyQuest game? So the FlyQuest game, you have Aurelia, Lee Sin, LeBlanc, Lover's bot lane. TSM have Nocturne, but we should be playing Nocturne on this patch. Like, what the fuck?
No, Nocturne's still fine. Like, I mean, look.
Is it the next patch I'm thinking about?
No, Nocturne's still like, Nocturne doesn't like.
Okay.
It was Lee. Lee is seeing less pay, but just basically go to the throw, because TSM played this game pretty well. They were set.
I watched this when I was at work. They were winning most of it. So when the caster said they lost, I'm like, huh? Did did my brain turn off? Like, how?
Yeah, look. Huni and Speaker.
They're the best top jungle duo in the league.
They're doing well. Like, yeah. So you can just send this to the throw. Just send it right to the throw. Like, we don't because this is
right to the throw bin.
No. You can just fast forward to the throw because this is like I don't know what
is that your man's? That's your man's right there.
No. Here is fine. Like again, here is fine. It's like a mid fight. Like no, here is fine. So they get Baron. Like go to where they get Baron. Okay.
Right there they got Dragon.
Okay. Yes. So this is where the stupidity starts coming in.
This is where that Reginald crack starts kicking in.
Look at this. Like I'm like, okay. I'm like, I know what's gonna happen. I already saw this coming. They're gonna dive and something stupid's gonna what are you doing?
Bronze ult Tomo just did. Look at that bronze Xayah ult that dude just did.
See, I knew this was gonna happen. They had no Nocturne ult, and if you're gonna Nocturne ult, then this is where the throw starts happening. So I'm like, okay. I was like, oh, this is not too good. Huni gets they go 2 for 4.
Dude, imagine this. TSM lost this fight, right? With a Xayah that preemptively ulted when nothing was gonna happen to him. That's disgusting.
And then they get this chase.
I'm not kidding. Look at this. Tomo literally preemptively ults when nothing was going to happen to him. He doesn't even have his ult during the fight. How did you lose this? Go back a little bit further. He ults, right?
I think he ulted because he thought the Nocturne was going to come in on him.
You have 5 people defending you, though.
And this is where I was like, why? I'm sure Huni was like, just play it slow. You need the Nocturne ult in order to do what you need to do.
And then, after that, where was the part where they throw further? I think it's at the Baron, right? Yeah, because they chase down Huni right here, and then they kill him, and then it's like, okay, you already see the throw happening. Okay, I guess TSM, I guess you just throw against the newest academy roster in the league. Now, to be fair, we did talk about this last week too. Remember, we talked about if teams get more time to play against this roster for FlyQuest, it's going to be a lot more easier to beat them, though. So you saw in this game, if you do certain things against them, it's gonna automatically just destroy them. They don't know how to react. They literally won because TSM literally giga hard through. Oh yeah, also Yun, Hyun, I agree with you too. Every time I've seen Huni on Nocturne, it's been just it's been an abomination. I'm like, what is this crackhead doing? What is going on here? All right. So the other games I want to talk about, obviously, are going to involve Cloud9. So Cloud9 won against CLG, and they won against Golden Guardians, right? But we have to talk about this Immortals game that Cloud9 played. Oh my God. I watched this game live, and I wanted to throw myself off a fucking bridge. I was like, holy shit. Now, Sven has talked about they have a lot of issues that interview with La Tigris after the CLG game, guys, obviously. Every player on Cloud9 right now, doesn't see the game as their teammate, obviously. It's very apparent in their gameplay. They're all on different pages. Fudge is the best player on the team, by far. It's not even really close. Vulcan is probably your next best pick in terms of the second best player on Cloud9. Blabber's been playing pretty awful, the split as a whole. Sven has not looked that good, but that might have been due to the fact that the benching might have honestly preemptively hurt his synergy when it comes to obviously doing this. All right, so looking at this game, obviously, you have Cloud9. They drafted Viego, Lee Sin, Akali, Kalista, Nautilus. The individual bot lane for Cloud9 was doing okay, but Sven just kept getting caught out, obviously, because IMT was just obviously trying to make sure they wanted to get him. IMT drafted Set, Diana, Lucian, Ziggs, Leona. Obviously, Ziggs is really good at taking turrets. I think, obviously, he's one of the more underrated champions in the bot lane. No one actually plays right now. And then you also have Cloud9 making proactive plays around the map. You also had Blabber getting caught out right here. There was just so many random mistakes in this game. You thought at a certain point, the game was already over when they kept giving up mid fights and shit. but I thought to myself, okay, like Fudge was playing individually well on Viego. He was out CSing Revenge. He was moving around the map, just the way you obviously know that Fudge should be. Cloud9 were basically upping the tempo and pace of the game. Perks had the fail flash on the wall. And like there's the fights in the mid game that really changed. So like Sven just kept getting caught out with the Ziggs ultimate because like Ziggs just a shitload of damage, obviously. Like, oh my god, you have Insanity taking out Blabber. This game was just basically back and forth in a good way, obviously. Like it's one of these things where like the fans of Cloud9 will go like, well, this game was really close, so it doesn't really matter if they lose it. It kind of does because this is the team they on paper should just be dismantling. Like IMT, basically outside of Xerxes, to me, is not really that good of a team. Like they're okay. They're like okay, honestly, but this game
is a team that if they go into the lower round, they could upset them and knock them out. And remember, the higher the seeding you get, the better your chance you could lose and then have a second chance. And then the second chance can be they could get upset. So it's a little bit, it's not concerning, but it's definitely to keep an eye on. So
it like this game, there was so many periods and points in the game where Sven got caught out. Look at that right there. It's the second time he got caught out by himself alone. Why is he alone? Why is he pushed up that far? Look at where Vulcan is coming from. Like, what is going on here? They have the Baron fights where at one of the Baron fights, it turns, they lose this fight. It's one of the Baron fights. No, like IMT's brain turns off in one of these fights. Because like, this is why you can tell IMT is not a good team. So like, if you're this far ahead in the game, there should be no point where Revenge is right there, solo pushing that far up, getting collapsed on. And then right at this point, Cloud9 starts making a comeback. And then this is where you see like the more interesting part of the game plays out. Insanity almost killed Purse by himself, but then obviously IMT gets aced right here, obviously. And then you have these really, really close objective fights between, Baron and Dragon. Dude, what did you think about this game when you watched it live?
It's again, it's like what I was saying earlier, just to kind of harp back. Teams are either getting better or teams are underestimating these lower tier teams, and you have to, when you're a top team, you need to solidify these wins. Like this, because this could be determined whether or not you are in the upper bracket or not. So like, yeah, like I thought it was a good game. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it, and it's nice to see IMT compete against Cloud9 because, of course, we got Worlds coming up, so you want to get like be pushed to your limits before you go there, even if it's in your own region. But yeah, it's a concerning thing.
But there's a lot of good and bad with this game. It's good Cloud9 can fight their way out of these situations. Like if you look at this team fight right here, they play these team fights really well up until the point where they throw the game. They literally throw the game. It's right toward the very end. Like somehow they got aced and shit rather than they got Dragon. Like this just shows me like fucking IMT is not as good. But right here, this is how they lost the game. We have to slow down this shit. Warren, I'm going to need your league analyst expertise in this shit, obviously. So this is the point of the game where everyone's talking about, right? Because they literally go mid, they get Dragon, and they immediately go mid because they're trying to push down ARAM style when they don't really need to. Perks could just keep split pushing, but, whatever. I guess it's because, like, Destiny engaged onto one of them. I think it was Sven, right? He found a clutch engage onto Sven because Sven is, like, right here. He's pulling in Vulcan right there, as you can see with the Callista ultimate. So if you look at this fight right here as a place, he almost gets Sven, obviously, and Sven is basically dead. Like, when you're in the middle of carries like that, you're basically done. Right there, they pretty much instantly kill off Sven and Vulcan. Right there, I knew the game was done. Once you're killing off the two main carries like that, there's nothing Cloud9 can do.
Right, and Viego couldn't get any resets in order to... If Viego got one reset, I think he would have been able to carry the rest of the fight, but because he had no range, and he is rather squishy, and you got Leonis, it was like you can't be dying if you're a carry, just can't.
Like the fact that Sven was basically all alone by himself in that period point where like you could even be chunked out like that is insane. Like, I just don't understand. Like, if your AD carry is by themselves in a position where clearly IMT could get to them because they have a Leona, they have a Ziggs. Ziggs was literally one-shotting him. Like, Q, auto, dead, basically. Ultimate was basically just fucking, this is just style points at this moment, right?
Right.
Like, look at right here. They're already out of the fight. They're done. Sven and Vulcan can't get closer, or they will literally insta-die. Blabber is doing his best, I don't know, fucking SKT blank impression of thinking up at a certain point. I don't know what he's doing, dude. Like, I don't know. He's just kicking people, throwing fucking Lee Sin Qs. I don't know what he's doing, honestly. Like, Perks is soloed out. Perks can't flank on Akali. I don't know. It's one of these things where I'm glad Cloud9 won the other 2 games, but this is one of the games where, like, they should have won. They had a clear-cut window to win. They lost the game to a certain point. IMT gave it to them. They had it, and they just threw it. Why are they not pushing down more side lanes? Why is Sven by himself consistently in these games? He's by himself. He's literally
trying to do. He's trying to do his
TSM impressions?
His best impression of Ezreal at the 2018 Spring Finals.
Oh no! Oh shit! Oh fuck! Warren, why are you gonna be so mean? You scarred from that moment, actually?
I mean, let's be honest. Do you really think TSM would beat IG? Moving along.
A lot of the TSM fans thought that they could beat IG if they went to MSI. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, sure, buddy.
Stop it. Even I'm not.
The Shy would have just ate Broken Blade's asshole out. What the fuck?
He'd have been broken bits.
Rookie versus Bjergsen. Come on, I like Bjergsen, but like, come on.
That would have been fun to watch. I mean, that would have been. That'd have been fun to watch.
It'd be fun, not for Bjergsen.
I mean, he had to deal with Faker for 3 years. I think he can be okay.
Credit to Bjergsen. The matches between Bjergsen and Faker were always pretty interesting, actually, when they did face each other.
Yeah. So too bad we can't see that anymore.
This was one of the worst games I've ever seen played in LCS in a while. You guys know what game I'm gonna bring up: IMT versus CLG to kick off day 3. CLG winning the game and being scared to do anything like some bitch. What am I looking at here? So CLG drafted Gangplank, Diana, Tristana, Callista, and Galio. I like Smoothie being on Galio. It will actually give him something to do and not just die every fucking 5 minutes. IMT draft Gwen, Viego, Syndra. Haven't seen Syndra in a while. It's always nice to see her come back. She's one of my favorite mid lane champions of all time. Varus and Leona. So right here, like, why is he by himself? Why are people always in this league getting caught out, dude? It's just like every minute someone's getting caught out for no reason whatsoever. There's nothing to do on the map, and they're just like, you know what? I'll just push by myself with no vision, and I know my teammates are like all recalled, but I'll just push a lane by myself with a champion with no escapes. Good. Nothing could go wrong, right? It's like, what the fuck?
No, they're just in the practice tool by themselves.
Might as well be if you're watching this game. This game was a sin against the earth itself. Looking how bad this was. Okay, that's just unlucky. That is pure unluckiness right there about what happened. So where's the part in the game where CLG threw? Like, did you watch this game where CLG were apparently like fucking too scared to do anything? They were winning the game.
Yeah, they had Dragon. They had all the dragons. Like, and they just. I think it's mental boom, man. Like, that's what it seems like to me. Like, it just seems like
mentally done, dude. It's over, dude. There's nothing CLG can do to recover from this. If you can't win a game like that, where you're clearly in the driver's seat, look how there's 7,000 gold ahead at 28 minutes. That's a game over. That's just, I don't care if you're a CLG, FlyQuest, a team.
And they have scaling. It's not like they don't have scaling. They have Diana. They have Diana. They have KGP. They have Tristana. So it's not like they don't have scaling, and they have pretty good engagement.
It's not like they have a bad composition either. Like, what is going on here? Like, I just don't get it. If you can't win a game like this, where you're clearly winning, you're doing nothing wrong, how does that Varus get in there and still bear? Oh, my brain, my actual brain's going to come out of my fucking skull, run outside and get ran over by a fucking truck. Let's replay this right now. Where was it? Ray stole the Baron, actually. Let's replay it really slowly. Warren, I'm gonna need your excellent League of Legends analysis. Actually.
So I think it was a combination of, like, the Baron's going down now. They needed to stop damage and let Varus hit it so that he could smite it. That was the problem.
This was a guaranteed Baron from CLG. You want to know why, guys? Broxah still has smite up. Look, Xerxes smite is just coming back up, off cooldown.
Yeah, they just had to play it slow, honestly. They literally just had to play it slow.
I at this point, what do you even do? Like, I agree with Demonte. Their mental is done. No, it's not. Sorry, that's not what he said. My bad. I'm saying
Paul Belter.
Yeah, sorry. Paul Belter. Their mental is done. If you can't win a game like this, you don't even deserve to be playoffs. I don't care if they do accept 8 teams. This is unacceptable. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, there's no point. You should be like 7,000 gold ahead and you throw a game like this.
No, not at all.
That's just like, okay, we're not just dog shit. We're really dog shit. Like, they can't even play the game together to the point where they're agreeing on when to go in on a Baron call where they clearly have no way of losing it unless that happens, though. Ugh, dude.
Yeah, that's not looking good for CLG. If you're a CLG fan, I would do yourself a favor.
Just get another org to support.
Support another org. Even Dignitas is looking much better, and even IMT as well. Like, just until their org can figure out what they want to do and what direction they want to go, and the players can have more sense of positivity and sense of urgency, I would not be a fan. Sorry.
Dude, even, how would I say this, though? Like, I guess, what do you even think in that moment, though? You're winning. I've had those games in solo queue before. Like, you're winning. You're doing everything right. You're doing everything right you can possibly do. And then something happens where it's like, okay, now we're losing the game. It's like, that just shouldn't happen. You know? They have such... but is that even an environment, though, dude? How's that environment when you're winning a game and you completely give over a Baron when the other enemy jungler doesn't even have smite? What? That's not even coaching staff. That's an environment. That means your players just fucking suck. That means they're just bad. They're bad at playing the game. They're bad at maneuvering on the map. What other game did you want to look at for this week?
The game. I think the game between Evil Genius and Dignitas really showed that how they're really coming together.
Yeah, because Evil Geniuses have been playing good. Dignitas also have been playing good as well, kinda. I'm not really built into this I'm not really bought into this roster without Dardoch, but
me.
Like, once they lost Dardoch, dude, I was like, this team's probably gonna be fucking trash, and they still kind of are. Let's be honest here, but this is the game where Dig won, right? They broke EG's win streak, I think.
They lost.
I forgot who broke EG's win streak. It
was Golden Guardians.
Guardians. I remember watching this game. They literally killed Svenskeren right here, level 1. This game should be over. Your jungler should be absolutely fucked from this point. No way you should be winning this game at this point for EG, but it's NA. So what did you want to say when it comes to this game right here?
It just like I just like how they played their team fights really well. Wow, he's an idiot.
Get this off my screen. I remember that. Get this off my screen. Warren, what was good about that?
No, there's nothing good about that. It's just
And then he goes up he goes up top lane and solo kills Yasui. Game over. Just literally take your fucking keyboards out of your computer, chuck them outside, and let the trains in LA run that shit over. If you're playing that bad, guys, I'm not kidding here. This is the level of LCS gameplay we have. Where like they throw a champion mid to deal with one opposition, or they have quote unquote a lane swap, right? And then Look.
It's funny because
dog shit.
It's funny because in this matchup, like, wait, this is in this matchup, the Renekton is Volibear actually beats Renekton because this was actually a when Renekton was like high priority at 2020 Worlds. Volibear was being picked, and Bippo showed that you can dumpster the Renekton. Like the Renekton's supposed to lose. It's just no offense, but Impact is better than Fake God. That's not me being disrespectful. It's just the truth. Like this, like I would. There's a couple changes. I don't want to ever see if teams ever let Impact get GP, Renekton, and Vlad. It's a GG because that guy he seems to be on a level.
Why did they give him Renekton? Did they not learn anything from him playing Renekton at all this year? If you give him Renekton, that's basically an auto loss. Especially when you're fucking solo laners, give him 2 kills before 9 minutes in the game.
And they have
board drinker.
And they have a ton of late game insurance because they have Kaisa, they have Ryze. Like they're fine. Like even if the Renekton falls off, they have a lot of damage coming in. And this is what I was talking about, the AP mids. Like, okay, so you have Diana Ryze, but guess what? Ryze can set you up with W, and Diana can blow them up. Like, this whole notion that you need to have different damages, yeah, it's okay and all, but it's not the end-all, be-all. I just think, personally, if this was a different team, like, if this was, say, Cloud9 or 100 Thieves, I don't think EG wins because they get hard. Like
that first blood, they literally griefed over. Should have been the end of this game. And people are gonna be like, well, why? Because if you give over first blood, usually like that, as a jungler, you are. It's not just tempo. You're generally going to be at a huge disadvantage because the other jungler has had time to farm, roam around the map, get scuttles, get buffs, get dragon, put down vision. You can't walk into those vision spots because he knows where you're going to be.
Take your camps.
He knows where you're going to go. Take your camps. Guys, I'm not kidding though. People say, well, after one mistake, games aren't over. If you're actually that stupid, I'm not going to bother explaining it to you. You literally are more or less so not going to be in the game, you know? And the fact that they can win from having their jungler get killed level 1, blow some of the spells is mind-blowing. That's just like, I don't know, man.
I think that comp for that team was a little bit hard.
I think Dig even had the better composition. I think they had the better comp for Dig, in my opinion.
Yeah, they had the better comp.
They had the way better comp by far.
They had a better comp because like Gwen would block most of the damage with her W. They have dive with like Sean Avery brings up the point. Like,
what's up, Sean Avery? How you doing, brother? 80 to 28 CS difference with Impact versus Fake God top lane with better pick. LMAO. Am I watching Alfari versus Fudge locking turn? Dude, you're right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If that was Alfari on Volibear, I just don't see the same thing happening. Like, or if it's Someday or Huni, like I just don't see him losing that hard. Or like, I just think they were trying to play towards the meta, but it just doesn't fit. That play something, play. No, I'm not.
Dude, I just noticed this. Why does Jizuke have Ryze? They gave them every pick. They gave Jizuke Ryze.
I mean, Ryze isn't like a really.
But Jizuke on Ryze is different though. It's
like Jizuke's Ryze.
Zillion, right? Like they gave them comfort in their power picks, but even after giving EG their comfort picks and some of their best champions, Dignitas still at the better draft, right? And still lost. So it goes to show you guys, draft doesn't mean everything unless you're just as bad as them.
Draft doesn't mean anything. It's all about execution.
True. And the very last thing to talk about for this episode of the Cloud9 podcast is the match of the week in the LEC, G2 versus Fnatic. And when I watched this game, I was like, okay, G2 should have won this game.
It came down to one fight, and I have the clip. You can check the.
Yes, sir. Getting it right now.
Because I think, Casual is right after. It's a short clip, but Casual is pretty spot on. Once we go over the clip.
All right, share audio. Here we go. Full screen. There we go. All right, let's see what Kidra has to say.
So he slows it down and everything.
This caps his insta one shot. So there was a thing on Reddit where, if you watch what happens here, Wunder ults Niski, which knocks the creep in front of Bwipo, which blocks the hook, which means that Jankos has to flash or like engage onto Bwipo and ult him. Stop the ult. Which makes Jankos die. So that was really unlucky. That was really unlucky.
That's crazy. See, it's those little differences.
Asked, if Reckless didn't do this, would the game be?
Oh yeah, he flashed forward.
The answer is, it's hard to say. Obviously, the game will go on for longer, but if you just account for right now before he flashes, Fnatic have a free Drake. I don't think G2 can contest this. They don't have push. They don't have vision. I think they can't really face check Mundo. I think Upset can lifesteal on Drake. Niski can TV back. Like Drake's for sure dead. They have Cloud Soul 100%. And I think that Jankos is dead for 50 seconds. So is Bwipo. But so no team can really. They can't really rush Nash. I don't think G2 can trade Nash for Dragon, especially with Niski having TP. Adam could probably just solo it worst case or Upset. But they can't really trade anyway. So all that would happen is Fnatic would get Cloud Soul base and be first to they would be first to Nash. And that's it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, engagement.
But then you also have that pause. Like, I know the pauses ruin the tempo of the game as well. But that's why I love League, man. These little key differences in a team fight matters so much, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I love League so much, dude. So for the game, I know people are going to be like, well, the draft in Fnatic was better, right? Kinda. Like, the Vayne pick, that doesn't really, like, matter to me. I think Vayne is a good pick. But
yeah, Vayne's a good pick here.
Yeah, really good. You can literally knock back any of the engage Irelia, Tristana, or Alistar try to do. And Karthus, Bwipo was useless this game. Bwipo only got fed off G2's abysmal team fighting. That was it. He literally was useless. Mickey X getting caught out right here. 50 seconds into the game, they give over first blood.
Best impersonation of Hillsang.
Oh my god, dude. So what did you think about this game actually when you watched this?
It really came down to that. Like, it was a close game. I think here's what's gonna happen. And I think G2 is gonna show up. This is the regular season G2. That's what I feel like. Misfits, if they get G2, I don't see Misfits beating G2. I don't. Maybe I get
blackened lately.
Maybe I get shut up. I mean, Misfits did win a game. I think they went 2-1 this week as well. But we'll talk about that.
2-0 because they only played 2 games here.
Yeah, they went 2-0. So they're not pretenders anymore, I guess. So they just need one more game to really solidify playoffs, because the 10 wins basically guarantees you're in playoffs. So I just think playoff G2 should show up. I'm hoping, because I mean I don't want to be like, hey, am I right again? Is G2 not making worlds? Because that would be that'd be weird.
Like, this is so frustrating, because look at how low their health bars go. They can't kill any of them. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't think Lucian. I think Lucian is. I think if you have like a Victor, the thing is, Victor, I don't know, like.
Wait, hold on. This was one of the fights that really got to me, and where I was going like, what the fuck? There was random moments in this game where it'll obviously show you, why was Mickey X just randomly walking up alone with no backup prior and dying? It happened consistently. Look at this right here. It's before. Okay, it's before this. Look, okay, just watch Mickey. Why? Oh my god. No reason to be there at all. There is no excuse for that. There is literally nothing he can do. Why is he walking to a Mundo who can just cleaver you and walking to a Tristana with flash and the buster shot or the explosive ability she does, the E? Why?
They're trying to play. They're trying to make it like a mythic raid, in WoW, turning on hard mode. Like they're making it hard for themselves. They don't want an easy win. They want a hard win. So
Mickey X is doing his fucking best. I don't know, Dreams impression or something. I don't know what he's doing. Like Mickey X has just been having a bad split, man. Most players on G2 have been having a bad split. And dude, the thing with Reckless, right, is a lot of people just criticize Reckless for never like flashing forward and doing the big Uzi play. Imagine like always getting criticized for being passive, and the moment you don't be passive, you just instantly give your team the game like over. That is crazy. But I really didn't like the Karthus pick here, man. I thought it was pretty useless. Like, if G2 played team fights better and actually pushed the game a whole lot better, that Karthus pick is useless, like it was. Like, Niski had an off game in this game, too, and I've been praising Niski, like, week to week to week. Like, he's been playing great, honestly. But this game, he looked bad. Him and Bwipo had an off game this week, man. I don't know. Like, do you think Fnatic is still the best team in the league by far, or can there be a challenge? You think they're just going to be this first place by the end of the split?
I think Fnatic is going to Worlds for sure.
Look at this, man. This is disgusting, man. Like, people would think like, oh, Upset's going to lose to Reckless. Nope, Upset's better than Reckless mechanically. I've said this for years, and I'm still saying that right now. This game proves it. Upset is better than Reckless in lane, and better at mechanically, and better at team fighting. Reckless is good at what he does, but I think Upset's just a better player in most cases. Like, does this game not prove it?
I mean, it's yeah.
They've won every 2v2 against G2 mostly this year, right? Just in the 2v2 alone. And Upset and Hillsing have been a huge driving factor of G2. Like, it's just one of these. Sorry, about Fnatic for Hillsing and Upset. My bad, guys. But overall, like, it's one of these things where like the pause is impacting the game, right? Then you also have like maybe they're just not confident in each other's strengths anymore on G2, which we've talked about before. I personally think they're going to be getting a new team, right? Like this shouldn't come as a surprise to any LEC fan. I love G2. Bottom, I love them. They're amazing. We're getting a new team. Are they keeping someone? Maybe. I don't know yet. Even Reckless said, they might be looking for someone else if I don't perform as well as they think I should be. I don't know, man. What do you think, dude?
I think G2 is going to be in a rebuilding phase. I think they've all had enough of each other, and the height of G2 is kind of, like they say, all what's
all
that
great
saying?
Things must come to an end.
All great things coming to an end, or no king lives forever. Like,
even if you're on top for a very long time, someone will always dethrone you. That always happens. That was a nice barrel right there too. It was an awesome barrel what he just did there. Oh my god! Like, Caps has had a pretty off split so far. Adam played really well in this game on Dr. Mundo. This game made me like, okay, maybe Mundo isn't that bad. Maybe
I told you Mundo is good. Like,
he played well. That's all you gotta do. Cleaver and tank. That's all you gotta do. But this also shows, because people always blamed Adam for being a Olaf and fucking Renekton one trick, right? I'm like, or two trick, right? I'm like,
two trick.
I'm like, this guy. Do you guys not watch this guy in lane? Like, did he not?
There's a reason why. Like, again, this is for the humans that that don't realize that there's a reason why. You must be really delusional if you think pros can't play champions. Like,
the reason why they don't pick all those champions, guys, is because if my player is stronger on just this one pick and it guarantees us wins, I'm just gonna give you that pick. And if I ever need to, and if that pick ever gets banned, that's cool. We have 2 other picks he can play. And I told people this too, dude. Why would they just reveal all his top lane picks right now? There's no need to. He's played like 3. Well, he's played Mundo, Set, Olaf, and someone else, right? He's played like 4 top lane champions. That's good enough. Why would you reveal every single thing in your arsenal? That's stupid. That's literally asking to lose.
Yeah, he's played Mundo, Set, Renekton, and Olaf.
That's good enough. You don't got to play like 10 different champions.
I mean, Yahoo played Gragas, Lucian, Jace, and Lee for most of Spring Split in LPL. So it's like, if it works, it works. Like.
Yeah, Caps was way too aggressive right there. It's not really about the minions. He's so far ahead of his team. He can't do anything. you know. And Reckless at this point, I don't get the flash though. I really don't get it. They already lost the team fight when Caps dies.
It's
Like
just
Caps,
desperation.
Caps and Yanko's already died. Like, I don't think there's nothing he can do in that moment. But Fnatic continue to be the best team in the LEC. Rogue is also up there as well. You guys will be getting your LEC recap tomorrow, and then your LCS recap on Wednesday. Kind of making sure that there's some structure to the uploads, obviously. But yeah, anything else you want to say, man, before we head out of this? Actually, it's a pretty good episode. Pretty good.
Yeah, I would say to the fans out there, EU or NA, both regions are looking kind of sketchy. You know, you got top teams losing to the bottom teams and vice versa. So I don't think LEC or LCS has any should try to keep their mouths closed.
Yeah, because like, hey, if you guys think Fnatic is good, watch EDG in the LPL, and you tell me what is a good team. Actually, here, watch the average team in the LEC, which is probably like, I don't know, Misfits, right? Then go watch a team like JDG or FPX. Suning. Well, Suning might be a little bit different though, because Suning are kind of bad right now. Because S1Fn's playing like a fucking crackhead.
Like I could pull up the list right now because I'm looking at. Just give me 1 second. So like fans, let me be honest. They ain't beating the top 6 teams. Like let me go down this list. EDG, that's a hell no. They're gonna lose. FPX, another hell no. Even LNG, nope. Rare Atom, nope. JDG, nope. Top Esports, nope. WE, nope.
Maybe WE. Depends on which W show up though.
Breeze is a good Suning? No.
Suning, no, you're getting your ass
you saw what Ben did to G2 before. Like, come on, stop. Like, and then RNG is right now on I think they're on a 4-game winning streak.
RNG's picking it up. Yeah, their slump is over. They're picking up. They just beat EDG.
They just beat the top team that had a 10-1 record. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, thank you, please.
Yeah, you know what the Western fans always do? Yeah, well, at Worlds, sometimes the LEC teams do better. They do better at specific moments when it literally benefits them on giver days where the meta favors them more, or maybe because like the Asian teams have an off day. I guarantee you, if you take those stage games out of it, those EU teams have lost every scrim against an Asian team. I can 100% guarantee you. But people only see the result on stage. They go, oh yeah, that always matters. I mean, yeah, but you have to factor in if you lost every game in a scrim versus you won one on stage, you weren't better than that team. You just played better on the day. Like, can there be days where the Western teams, potentially when they're going to be at Worlds, can they beat these LPL and LCK teams? Yeah, sure. But, like, there's a reason why you guys don't predict them to win Worlds outside of, like, G2 from, like, 2 years ago. There's a reason why outside of, like, G2 from, like 2 years ago, there's a reason why most people predict, like, Asian teams to win. There's a reason for that, because they're just better. You know, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be that guy, and I actually am. They're just better. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they really are just better mechanic. Like they just have, like, let's be honest. If we were to put RNG, like I could put OMG in LCS or LEC, they would do good. Like let's not even go that far. Let's say we put Suning. Suning would do good.
And Suning's not even playing like well, kind of overall in the LPL. They've had their struggles, right? SOFM is kind of struggling with the meta right now. The bot lane's not doing so hot on some meta picks, right?
With the new support that they have, so they're having not identity, just trying to be cohesive, because Sword Out was a big voice. So yeah, like I just like all I'm saying is this week I think both regions need to figure out how to, like, there's only two weeks left for both regions. They need to really buckle down, because Worlds and playoffs are coming up, and they can't be playing like this come Worlds. They just can't.
Like, dude, I don't know. Can they clean up their gameplay? I get it, guys. Metas change. Fucking patches come in. New champions get rotated out. I don't see a world where EDG aren't like top 4. You know what I mean? Yeah, EDG are insane. This might be a world. This might be the year they finally win Worlds. Who knows? I'm not calling it yet. This might be the Worlds. This might be the year where they finally make the finals, because Flandre, Scout, that new guy they have, what's his name? JJ? Is that I forgot the new guy's name. All the new junglers for them. Oh my god.
Hold on, I could tell you the junglers. Yeah, it's JJ. It's JJ.
They still have Scout, right? Like these guys are insane. These guys are absolutely just insane.
Viper is by
far, the best
ADC in the world right now.
People talk about Gala. No. Gala was Viper's bitch.
I would say it's Viper then Ruler.
Yeah, people are like, well, Gala. No, Viper was Gala.
Gala is definitely top 5 for sure, because they wouldn't be on this win streak without him too. Mm-hmm. I'd say, but he's definitely not in the top 3. No, you're delusional if you think that.
Like, dude, even average mid laners, like, what's his name, Chashao Bao. He's on one of the bottom 2 teams. He looks pretty okay.
Yeah, he looks pretty. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, and you got to remember, LPL has 16 teams, not like the typical. What does NA and EU get? I think it's 10 apiece. Yeah, they have another 6 teams. That makes that they do best of 3s, and they have their little own mini metas that happen. Like, again, the fans of I'm a Fnatic fan. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a TSM fan, but this week just showed that both regions need to clean up something, and that's all I'm gonna say. They really need to clean up before playoffs and then heading into Worlds. So.
Hello? It's just I don't know. I think my wife just came in. She wants to have lots of hot sex. No, I'm just looking at you guys. So I'm just being honest here, guys. When a lot of the fans go, yeah, we beat these Asian teams. How often have we won against those teams? Outside of the LEC, on some days just getting lucky. I'm not saying it was luck all the time, but like, give or take this. You know, if that team is generally better and you predict for them to, it's really crazy, dude, how people predict for these Asian teams to win, but yet when their Western team wins, they want to like overhype that shit, right? But it's like, wait a minute, didn't you not already tell me this team was the best? And if you power rank that team to win the event, right? And when they lose, you know what I mean? You're going like, oh yeah, we beat this team. But it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Just to me, the team with the better players always ends up winning anyway, though. They might get upsets, which happens. That's just how sports work. But it doesn't mean on average you're better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if we were to replay a couple of matches, like let's be honest. For instance, the 2018, was it 2018 or 2019? The 2019 MSI final. If we were to really replay that again, right? IG probably wins out of the 100 times. IG wins probably 90 times.
You know as well as me, IG were the best team that year. They should have went to MSI where RNG won. Remember, it was because of fucking the Shy. He cut his hand or some shit, where they played Duke and shit. IG literally went 36-2 in best of 3s the entire year. They played so well, guys. I shit you not. Their fucking owner played games. They were just that dominant. I shit you not. People are like, well, why weren't they at MSI? Because the Shy hurt his hand. He couldn't play.
Oh, but Duke was.
I like Duke. I think Duke was fine.
Duke was playing actually really good for the.
That's crazy. He had like 2 world-class top laners and shit. I was like, this team is just disgusting. This is actually gross. But that's pretty much it, man. Anything else you want to say before we close out of this?
No. Thanks for the fans thanks for chat for being so interactive, and
yeah, you guys did really well tonight. I get it, guys. You know, sometimes there's like one person watching, but generally sometimes if there's one person talking, one person watching, that's good enough to me. It doesn't matter how many people are here. I don't give a fuck. I just want to just talk to the few people that want to show up, you know? Doesn't matter to me at all.
Yeah, and we love the feedback, so just keep it coming.
Oh my god. Yeah, Sean, I agree with you. RNG played shit against C9 and G2 in 2018, and they were in shambles when Worlds in 2018 and lost groups to Fnatic. Yet fans think all of those teams just played better. Yeah, dude. People said Perks was better than Uzi. No, he was not. Perks was never better than Uzi that year.
That's delusion.
That's Perks was the best ADC in the world. No, he was never better than Uzi. He was never better than Teddy.
He was a Zaya Kaisa trick. Stop it.
He was never even better with Teddy. Sorry, he was never even better than Teddy. Like, what? He was not better than Uzi. Was sure not better than Teddy. He was not better than Ruler. I'm like, okay, Worlds just gives people just this weird, broad perception on players that never even existed. I'm like, what the fuck? He played good. Don't get me wrong, he played good. It was just Don't tell me he's better than Uzi. Come on. We're stretching that. Come on. But all right, guys, I'll see you guys later. Expect your LEC and your LCS recap later on during the week. I'm the Nightwing and Way of Life Esports is signing out, guys. Peace. Have a good day. See you guys later. Deuces. We're out this thing, man. Peace. Bro,
Take care.
I'm so starving. I'm gonna fucking eat.